Today, we're diving into a really powerful mental model. It's designed to help you handle, well, pretty much anything life can throw at you. It's called the disaster mindset, and it all boils down to one simple question. What if you could actually train your brain to be ready for the unexpected?
You know, this quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head. It points to a flaw that we all kind of have. We've all got this little voice inside that says, oh, bad things happen to other people, not to me, right? And that's the trap. Because of that little blind spot, that false sense of safety, when a crisis actually hits, we're just not ready for it. We panic, we freeze up, our brains just shut down, and we break under the pressure.
So, what's the answer here? Well, it's about developing something called a disaster mindset. Now, let's be super clear. This has nothing to do with being paranoid or living in fear. It's actually the total opposite. Think of it like mental conditioning, training that gives you a deep sense of calm and control. It's not paranoia at all. It's preparation.
So what is it really? Well, a disaster mindset is basically a state where your mind is already preloaded with a blueprint for how to handle things when they go wrong. The whole point is that when a real crisis hits, your brain doesn't waste a single second on panic. It just flips a switch and goes straight into action mode.
And you can really see the difference here. The untrained mind, its default setting is panic. It freezes. It just gets completely overwhelmed. But the trained mind, well, it already has a plan. It's ready to take action immediately and stay focused on the solution, not on the chaos of the problem.
Okay, so how do we actually build this kind of mind? It's a great question. The whole framework is broken down into 3 pretty simple, really actionable layers. So let's dive into them.
First up, we've got Layer 1, Mental Rehearsal. The entire goal here is to make your mind shockproof. You know that initial jolt of panic you feel when something bad happens? This is all about desensitizing your brain to that so you can think clearly right from the start.
All right, let's do a quick exercise together. I want you to imagine a really common worst-case scenario, a complete financial breakdown. I mean, the money's gone, your job disappears, you've got no safety net. Just for a second, really picture that in your mind.
Now, instead of that feeling of dread, the disaster mindset immediately asks, okay, what's my blueprint? You'd instantly know, step 1, cut all the non-essential spending. Step 2, find a temporary way to get cash flowing. Step 3, use this downtime to learn a new, valuable skill. And step 4, map out a real plan to get back on your feet. See what happens? Suddenly, this terrifying problem, it feels manageable.
And this is the incredible result of doing that. Just by walking through the steps in your head, you're basically teaching your brain, hey, I got this. We can handle this. And what that means is, if that situation ever happened for real, your fear level could drop by as much as 70% because your brain already knows the way out.
And that flows perfectly into Layer 2, which is emotional independence. And honestly, this is highlighted as maybe the most critical piece of the whole puzzle. This is the real key to becoming immune to disaster.
Let's face it, worst-case scenarios are almost always made 1,000 times worse by our emotional reactions. So, to become truly crisis-proof, the idea is to build on 3 pillars. First, you keep your attachments and expectations low, which minimizes the pain of loss. Second, you don't let anyone else's panic control your mood. And third, you develop this deep, unshakable belief that come what may, I will survive alone. That's the core of being unbeatable.
And that brings us to our final layer, Rapid Adaptation. This one is all about speed. When a problem hits, the goal isn't to think about it for 2 days. The goal is to be making decisions in 10 seconds.
You see, the thing that often does the most damage in a crisis isn't the problem itself. It's how slow we are to react. We freeze up, we overthink everything, and we get totally paralyzed. The adaptive response is the complete opposite of that. You find a direction instantly, you change your routine on a dime, you take calm, decisive action without even hesitating.
And the advantage this gives you? Oh, it's just massive. This ability to adapt quickly and calmly can make you literally 10 times more effective, 10 times stronger than everyone around you who's stuck in that panic and indecision loop.
Okay, so we've talked about mental rehearsal, emotional independence, and rapid adaptation. Let's kind of pull all of this together and look at the core truth, the fundamental reason why this whole mindset is so incredibly effective. At the end of the day, the point of the disaster mindset isn't about sitting around waiting for something bad to happen. No, it's about being proactive. It's about making sure your mind has already created the antidote, the plan, the emotional stability, the decisiveness, long before the problem even shows up.
And that right there is the real payoff.
When you preload your mind with these solutions and frameworks, you're not reacting to crises anymore, you're anticipating them. This is how you stay 2 steps ahead, always.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought to really chew on. The worst situations in life, they don't actually have the power to break you. What breaks you is your reaction to them. So the only question that really matters is this: is your mind trained to react